Good morning, Coal Canyon Coyotes. Whether you are a student or a staff member, we appreciate you tuning in each week. We are well into our last month of school and appreciate you showing positive behavior wherever you go on your campus and your continued learning. Let's begin our Friday Flag video with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. So just a few things on this video. First, I hope you all are enjoying the new additions to our playground, especially fantastic new soccer goals. Big shout out to our wonderful school counselor for putting them together. Thank you, Mr. Z. You engineered those and fabricated, so that's fantastic. Thank you. He's a man of many trades. However, as you know, with every exciting addition comes some challenges with moving those things around. Unfortunately, our playground isn't quite large enough and comfortably to accommodate the soccer goals and other games like kickball at the same time. But fear not, because we've got a plan in place, as we always do. Starting next week, we'll be temporarily putting the soccer goals away while we work out a fair and balanced procedure for play. We're working on those rules. During this time, Mr. Zanartu and I will be meeting to discuss and establish clear rules and guidelines for this new equipment so that we can enjoy those safely and responsibly. Next thing I want to highlight again are our student expectation signs that are now up over the campus playground there. Take some time this coming week to stop and read what it means to be respectful and safe on the playground in each of those three areas. And then we have our super recess for those that made their reading count goal. And so wherever you are on this campus, we thank you ahead of time for doing your personal best to be a hero. Here's Dr. Wheeler now with a few reminders as I turn this over. Dr. Wheeler?
Good morning, Coyotes. As we dive into our favorite games during recess and breaks, it is important to keep in mind the importance of playing by the rules, like Mr. Shaw just highlighted. The office has put in a lot of effort to ensure that there are clear guidelines posted for each game, making it easier for everyone to understand how to play fair and square. But here's the thing, we need your help. If you find yourself in a game of wall ball, foursquare, or soccer, and things start to feel a bit off, it is time to step up and be a leader. Let's remember that at Coal Canyon, we play by the rules. Why does it matter? Well, playing by the rules not only makes the game more fun, but it also makes them safer and reduces conflicts, so reduces problems that may occur out there. When we stray from the rules, it can lead to unfair situations, potential injuries, and even damage to the equipment. So let's make a collective effort to uphold the spirit of fair play. Together, we can ensure that every game is enjoyable, safe, and played the way it's meant to be. Let's keep the fun going while everyone is happy and safe. Now to Mr. Zanartu.
Thank you, Dr. Wheeler, and good morning, Coyotes. I hope everyone has had an amazing April, and we're moving on to May. And since it's the beginning of May, hey there, Coyotes, it's time for us to celebrate those May birthdays. From your school counselor, I want to wish you a joy-filled, safe birthday month. To all of the names that are scrolling across the screen, happy birthday. May your day be sprinkled with laughter, adventures, and all things fantastic. So make sure that you enjoy every moment, everybody. Now it's time to turn over to Mrs. Lane for those special hero shoutouts. Take it away, Miss Lane.
Happy Friday, everybody. Remember, as always, we are going to be shouting out all of those students who have been making a difference and being helpful, encouraging, respectful, and outstanding. So let's begin by kicking it off with our kindergartners. From Mrs. Gorton's class, we have Isabel. From Mrs. Miller's class, we have Harley and Grayson. And for our first graders, from Mrs. Cron's class, we have Kaylee. From Mrs. Stringer's class, we have Ren. From Mrs. Moritz class, we have Tony. From Mrs. Murray's class, we have Zachary. And for our second graders, from Miss Garrity's class, we have Lennon. From Mrs. Manzella's class, we have Abby. From Miss Silva's class, we have Nova. From Mrs. Gonzalez, Clara. From Mrs. Schott, we have Brecken and Gianna. From Mrs. Hayden Pacey's class, we have Cameron. From Mrs. Tope's class for third grade, we have Erilyn. From Miss Hess's class, we have Sean. For Mrs. Levin's class, we have Kingston. From Mrs. Hewitson, Sophia. From Mrs. Welch, Carter. And our last one for third grade, from Mrs. Hartley's class, we have Riker. Moving on to our fourth graders. From Mrs. Calvillo Murray's class, we have Bria. From Mrs. Schroeder's class, Luke. From Mr. Pacey's class, Michael. From Mrs. Trujillo's class, we have Juju and Gabe. And from Mrs. Ariano's class, we have Sam and Ben. And rounding it out with our fantastic fifth graders. From Mrs. Morande's class, we have Nino and Caitlin. From Mrs. Greenstein's class, we have Julie and Will. From Mrs. Bryan's class, Bella and Dane. From Mrs. Reagan's class, Melissa. And from Mrs. Bethke's class, we have Aaliyah and Victoria. Congratulations to all of you who earned that weekly shout out. Now let's turn it back over to our principal, Mr. Shaw.
Yeah, congratulations. Thanks again, admin team. I appreciate all that you do to take care of our students, and thank you, teachers, for the support and care and support each day of our students. One quick reminder as I conclude, if you are a third or fourth grader considering applying for the Unified Leadership, remember that your applications are due this coming Thursday, May 16th by 3 p.m. You can get a hard copy of that application in the front office. So, hey, everybody's so proud of your efforts to be heroes on this campus. Students, I know you're willing to do your best. Keep it up, especially with your words and actions. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend.